welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to take a closer look at the boosters available in the official FIFA World Cup Fantasy game, and we're going to take a look at my strategy for when I'm going to use the boosters. So let's get started. Okay, so we're just going to start by having a quick reminder of what the boosters are in this game. So we've got 5 boosters available for the game. These are the wildcard, the 12th man, the max captain, the qualification booster and the mystery booster. So since I filmed my last video, FPL Joe on Twitter has been doing a little bit of digging into trying to find out what this mystery booster is, and we now think that it's going to be the clean sheet shield. So for this video I'm going to talk about the mystery booster as if it is going to be this clean sheet shield, but we are not going to have that confirmed until after the lockout for round 3, so just bear that in mind. So now we're going to take a look at the wild card. So just a reminder that the wild card is unlimited transfers for the round that you use it. And personally, I think that the wild card should be used in the group stage, because for the round of 32, we're going to be getting unlimited transfers. And then we also get quite a lot of transfers in all of the other knockout rounds as well. So I don't think we're going to need a wild card to deal with teams getting knocked out. So I think it's going to be best to use it in the group stage. And because there is only 3 rounds in the group stage of the competition, using the wildcard in the group stages basically means that you get to set up 1 week of the group stage as a free hit type of team like that we'd have in FPL. So if you use the wildcard in round 2, you are going to be using the unlimited transfers that we have right now to set up your round 1 team as a free hit style team. So you'd be focusing just on the fixtures that we have in round 1. And then when you activate the wildcard for round 2, you will be looking at the fixtures in round 2 and round 3 when setting up that team. Or the other option is you can use the unlimited transfers that we have right now to set up a team that is for the fixtures for round 1 and round 2, and then when you wildcard in round 3, you're going to be focusing just on the fixtures that we have in round 3. So basically, when you decide when you want to wildcard, you need to look at the fixtures and decide if you think you want to have a free hit style team in round 1 or in round 3, and that's going to decide for you when that you should use the wildcard. Okay, so the next booster that we're going to take a look at is the 12th man. So this booster allows you to add an extra player to your squad, and there are no team or budget restrictions when using this booster. So if you already have 3 players from a team, you can add a 4th from that team when using the 12th man, and you don't need to leave any money in the bank to be able to afford your 12th man. Their price doesn't matter. This is another booster that I think is best used in the group stage, because this is where we're going to see the easier fixtures for teams where they're more likely to score you more points when you have them added to your team. So some of the reasons that you might want to use the 12th man are because you want to add an extra player from a team that has a really strong fixture. So an example of this would be Brazil in round 2. They've got a really strong fixture, and you might already have 3 Brazil players in your team, but you could use this to add a 4th and really target that fixture. Another reason you could use the 12th man is to add an expensive player into your team that you're struggling to afford. So an example of this could be Haaland in round 1, as he's quite expensive. And then kind of along with this as well, it can also be used to target a team that only has 1 good fixture. So I think that applies to Haaland as well. But what you do have to remember is you can't captain your 12th man. So you'll probably want to look for a player that you're not too bothered about captaining, but you'd like to have in your team. Now we're going to take a look at the max captain booster. So this booster automatically captains your highest scoring player in the round that you use it. And I think that there are some good arguments for using this booster in the group stage and in the knockouts. So we're just going to take a look at some of those reasons as to why you might want to use it. So the first one is that you can use it when you just don't know who to captain from a specific team. So going back to those Brazil players, if you've got 3 Brazil players and you don't know which one of them you want to captain, activating the max captain would mean that you don't have to make that decision. If one of them scores really high, they will be the one that ends up as your captain. And another reason that you might want to use the max captain in the group stage, now this is a reason that applies more to those of us that aren't in America, where a lot of the matches are in the night. But if all of your best captains in a specific match day are playing in the middle of the night, especially the middle of the same night, and you're not going to be able to wake up to make the captaincy switch between the players, activating the max captain would mean that you don't have to worry about that. And then the final reason for using the max captain is when you just genuinely don't know who you want to captain at all. This might apply in a group stage match or in the knockouts. Personally, for me, I think this one leans more towards the late stages of the knockouts, like the semi-final and the final, when the fixtures can be a lot tougher and you just really don't know who's going to be the players to score the points. Okay, now taking a look at the qualification booster. So this is where you're going to get 2 extra points for every player in your team who qualifies to the next round of the World Cup. Something important here is that it's only available from the round of 32 onwards. So you can't use this in round 3 to get 2 extra points from all of your players that qualify from the group stage to the knockouts. It's just available for the knockout part of the tournament. And so with the qualification booster, you're going to want to use that when you think the majority of your players are going to qualify to the next round. So that's probably going to be earlier in the knockout stage. It's going to be when it's best to use that. Okay, and then the last booster we've got to look at is the mystery booster. So if this is going to be the clean sheet shield, then this is going to be where your goalkeepers, defenders and midfielders are only going to lose their clean sheet points after conceding 2 goals rather than after conceding 1 goal. Like the qualification booster, this is only going to be available for the round of 32 onwards. So even though we think that we know what it is now, that's not going to mean we can use it in the group stage. It's still just for the knockout stages only. And I think you're going to want to use this when clean sheets are going to be a little bit harder to keep, but you're still expecting teams to not concede many goals. We're looking just obviously for them to just concede 1 goal. Okay, so with all the boosters covered, now we're going to take a look in a little bit of detail at what my strategy is going to be. So the first booster that I'm going to be using is the 12-man booster. At the minute, my plan is to use this in round 2 to target Brazil's fixture in round 2 because I think this is a really strong fixture. There is still a small chance that I use the 12-man in round 1, potentially on a German player, but I've currently been leaning more towards round 2 for the Brazil players. If I do change my mind on this and go back to round 1, then that will be in my team selection video next week. But like I said, the current plan is round 2. Okay, and then the next booster that I'm going to be using is going to be the wild card, and I'm going to use this in round 3. With this one, I am 100% sure this is going to be my plan, and the reasons for that is I'm going to target the fixture swings that happen between rounds 2 and round 3, and I'm also going to deal with the rotation that could come in round 3, because after rounds 1 and 2, there will be some teams that have already picked up enough points to qualify to the round of 32. And that's going to see them rotate their teams so that no one gets injured. So using the wildcard is going to allow me to target those teams that have still got something to play for and deal with any potential rotation issues in my squad. Then the next booster that I'm going to use is going to be the qualification booster. I'm going to use this in the round of 32 because this is the round where I think who qualifies to the round of 16 is going to be the most predictable. Once we get to the round of 16 and the quarterfinals and so on, who qualifies to the next round starts to become harder to predict because the teams that are playing each other become a lot closer in quality. In the round of 32, I'm still expecting to see some quality gaps in who is playing who, so guaranteeing those 2 points should be a little bit easier. Then if the mystery booster is the clean sheet shield, I'm going to use that in the round of 16 because this is the point where clean sheets are going to start becoming harder to keep because like I just said before, the quality gap decreases, but some teams are still only going to be conceding 1 goal. And then that's going to allow me to keep those clean sheet points. If the mystery booster did turn out to be something else, then I will update my strategy once we get to the knockout stages and we have it confirmed. But for now, with us thinking it's going to be this clean sheet shield, then that is going to be my plan. Okay, and then finally, the max captain I'm going to use in either the semi-final or the final. The reason I'm leaving the max captain so late is because it's going to allow me to deal with having less captaincy changes and the results being more unpredictable. So with the max captain, what we need to remember is that we do get unlimited captaincy changes in this game. So that means in the group stages where all the teams are playing at different times, you get loads and loads of opportunities to change your captain. You can literally do it every game you've got a player in. Obviously the opportunities do slowly start to decrease as we work our way through the knockouts, but the semi-final and the final are going to be where we've got the least opportunities because there's only 2 matches in both of these rounds. So what it is important to know here is that we're expecting the final to include the 3rd place playoff match, so that is why there is going to be 2 matches instead of just 1. If the final was just 1 match, I would 100% be using the max captain in the final because we would be getting no captaincy changes. But because we're going to still be able to get 1, I'm going to leave this decision open until we know what the matches are for the semi-final, and then we'd be able to sort of predict what the matches in the final would be based on that, and that is when I'm going to make a final decision on when I'll use my max captain. So once we get towards the semi-finals and I'm doing my team selection videos for that, you'll know if I'm using my max captain or not. I'll definitely be sharing that, but for now I'm going to leave it open to those 2 matches until we know the fixtures. Okay, so that is all of the boosters covered and my strategy for the tournament covered as well. I think the boosters are a really important part of this game, and if you haven't decided a booster strategy yet, that is definitely what I'd be doing. You need to start with deciding when you're going to wildcard, whether that's going to be round 2 or round 3, and that's going to help you determine what teams you are targeting for your initial team selection for round 1. That is the main booster you need to decide. I think that you've got to know when you're going to use that wildcard going into round 1. The other booster that you should probably know 100% when you're using before the round 1 deadline is the 12th man, because your options for this are either round 1 or the other match day that you're not going to be wildcarding in, so either 2 or 3. So you need to know if it's going to be in round 1 or not. So yeah, they're the 2 that definitely need to be decided before round 1. The other 3 boosters you can leave more open. You don't have to be 100% decided on them yet, especially the 2 that can only be used in the knockouts. The max captain, it's probably a good idea to know whether you're going to use that in the knockouts or in the group stage. Personally, I think the knockouts is best, so you probably don't need to worry about that one too much, but definitely get that wild card time decided. And I do think that if you want my opinion on that, that round 3 is the best option because of the potential rotations and the fixture swings. Okay, so that is everything for today's video. If you found that useful, please give the video a like and consider subscribing to my channel. My next video that I've got planned is going to be coming out on Sunday, and that's going to be a first look at the round 1 fixtures. So we're going to take a look at some clean sheet odds, some goal projections, and some of the players that I think are good to target for match day 1 as well. So hopefully I will see you on Sunday for that video. Bye!